I didn't go to the Heat game last night, but it looked insane by the arena. It looked like Waterworld. Like it looked
flooding bad.
It looked impossible to get to the building. Like it was crazy. I know by the Arch Center at least it looked like I saw some reports from WSVN. It just looked absolutely. We are not going to last down here, are we?
Nah, we're sinking.
We have to grow gills to work here. That's going to be a thing. I mean, luckily we're on the second floor, but this isn't DuckTales. I don't have one of those water planes, so I don't know what to tell you.
Just be glad that one of the ceilings didn't cave in.
That actually does. See, Marcos is nervous about the generator. I always get nervous about hearing the water run through the pipes here. I'm like, it just feels too close. Too close. Because it's not in here. I mean, this literally happened with WQAM Studio. What were we, 8 months into this building, Leroy?
Not even.
Not even, right? Not even.
Because by the time we came in, we were here for like a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And then they were over in the other, because remember, there were boxes everywhere still.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So Leroy's right, probably like maybe 2 months, something like that. And we come in one day and it looks like, if anybody's seen the show Dexter and how spoiler alert, he murders people, he sets up this entire plastic room or Breaking Bad, what it looks like when they're cooking meth. That's what it looked like in QAM. We're like, what the hell happened? Like, the roof caved in. What?
Because the upstairs bar is right above them.
Yeah. We have the ceiling bar. This is a very hip place, the Citadel.
Super hip.
Super hip. Especially when Art Basel comes to them. When is Art Basel here?
Couple weeks.
Pretty soon?
Weeks, yeah.
What do you think we're going to sell, Leroy? You think somebody's going to sell a mango on a wall for like $200K?
They ain't going to get me for it.
We got to do it. We should do a bit where we go around Art Basel, where we peruse around Art Basel.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk like a Wilson the entire time. Yes, Leroy. What do you think of this? I call it produce.
Do we have to get the cigarettes with the long stem?
Oh, yes. Yeah, and a couple monocles.
Uh-huh.
I have a top hat from the Heat, from the Heat playoffs for my gentleman's sweep. So I got that all set.
Seems like the Monopoly guy at this point.
Not last year.
No.
Last year there was nothing.
But this year,
JP says possum on a wall.
One seed, Leroy again.
Can I tell you? I was watching Jimmy last night.
Yep.
And I was thinking, and I don't know, and I understand why some people get, some people don't, and some organizations get it, and some organizations don't.
When you say it, you mean the shine?
No, I don't mean the shine. No, Jimmy's excellent. I'm not questioning anybody's ability here. But when you see Jimmy play, he plays kind of a 90s, 80s style basketball.
Very rugged.
Where for the last 10 to 15 years, we frowned upon, that's everybody used to frown upon people that didn't shoot the three.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a guy like D Wade. You had a guy like LeBron, who was in Toronto and then went to, he's in with the Bulls right now.
DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
You have guys who are mid-range jumper guys, get the ball to the hoop, get to the free throw line. And for a couple of years, we looked at that and said, oh, well, he doesn't shoot the three, or well, he doesn't do this. And I'm thinking, there's a lot of different ways to win games in any sport with a great player, right? And when you see Jimmy, we tend to just don't even worry about it. He going to get his. He going to do it in a different way, but it's effective.
Mm-hmm.
When we say with D Wade, don't worry about D Wade can't shoot. So what? People can shoot the three. D Wade gets his. He gets to the free throw line. He does his thing. And then I was thinking, we never do that with quarterbacks. With quarterbacks, we seem to think there's only a certain way to win, right? Like, we've watched championships and Super Bowls won by okay quarterbacks, but with great defenses and an excellent run game. But if your quarterback can't throw for 300, we just trash him.
I'm not really following the parallel here.
We easily accept that there are other ways to win basketball games other than the Golden State Warriors,
right,
or a team that score 120 points.
mm-hmm.
But we don't easily accept that in football.
Well, you're kind of talking, but aren't you kind of talking about a team concept versus a player concept there, though? Like if you're talking,
they're both. Well, no, because what I would say is this: that if you have a player like that, then a coach is not really going to design, plays so that you open on the perimeter.
mm-hmm.
Or the franchise is gonna surround you with guys who can do that, right? Whereas, I look at a situation like, say, I'll use Miami. You won 10 games last year because of your defense.
Mm-hmm.
But all this year, we've talked about what Tua has done.
Yeah.
Okay? When up in Cleveland, we're talking about whether Baker Mayfield can get the team to that next level. When in actuality, it's your defense and your run game that have been elite, and that's why you've been winning games.
I thought your parallel was going to...
I always wonder, why don't we do that in football?
I thought it was going to be more to the effect, because I feel like for this parallel, it would be more like the way that Patrick Mahomes goes and wins games and the way that Tom Brady goes and wins games. They're kind of very different, quarterbacks, and Tom Brady is the prototypical, look down. Patrick Mahomes is razzle dazzle, all that type of stuff. Whereas Jimmy maybe more, I don't know, Tom Brady, and Steph Curry is Patrick Mahomes.
No, but it all starts with, in football, we all say, if you don't have a quarterback, you can't win. Like we don't take and say, you can win the way Jimmy wins or you can win the way Steph wins, right? Because they're two stars on the team.
Mm-hmm.
We accept that. We easily accept that, okay? But when it comes to the NFL, if you don't have a Tom Brady or a Patrick Mahomes or a Aaron Rodgers, people think that you can't win.
Is it the ID, Marcos?
The Ticket is the home of every Miami Heat game. WAXY South Miami and WSFS HD2 Miramar, an Odyssey station.
I thought you were finished a point, Leroy.
No, I'm finished.
Oh, okay.
I'm finished. It's just that I just, like, when I watch Jimmy, I'm, like, amazed at how he does things and how he still is able to dominate.
He's
right?
he's very he also just seems a lot freer this year with the addition of Kyle Lowry.
Yeah. Well, he did say that earlier remember he said that earlier in the year that look, his responsibilities were a lot different when he had to carry the ball up the court. He had to look to get everybody else involved.
Yep.
And now that Kyle Lowry's here, he can just do
and he's also
score.
He's also almost he's I don't want to say passive, because he's not passive, but he is unselfish to a fault at some points where they needed him to be the guy to go. And we saw this a little bit. Against the Pelicans, where he kept kicking out to KZ Okpala. Like, he wouldn't stop giving KZ Okpala the ball because he wanted to get him going. And I'm sitting here internally screaming on press row, please stop giving the ball to KZ Okpala, and please, Jimmy, just do this yourself. And he eventually did. Like, he did start taking over himself because they stopped playing KZ Okpala. But, in a game like yesterday, you see, like, Kyle can get him into his spots. Kyle's looking for him. Kyle's looking to get him going, and then he starts getting comfortable. You're seeing the floater. You're seeing the way that he bullies his way in. He's picking on people on these switches. He's hunting for the weak defenders on guys. And then the thing that my favorite part of his game is his pick sixes. I love that. I mean, he is – It's like him and Xavier Howard, samesies. Like, he's got just such an ability to read the other team's offense and what they're going to do. And, he calls it a gamble, but, I mean, this guy was the steals leader. Like, he knows what he's doing in those situations. And so he gets 4 steals last night, and it's just such a big part of his game. So where you maybe not have that maybe natural fluidity in the half court that other people do, he's got such an ability to just create chaos in his own right because he's so good defensively.
Well, the other thing is that, look, it's not a gamble if you have an educated idea of what's getting ready to happen. That means either you know the player, You study the film. You've played enough basketball to tell when guys are going to do certain things, and then you take advantage of it. I would say if it was more of a gamble, it's one of those things where you just chuck the ball up and hope somebody catches it on the other end.
You know what?
Don't do it.
You know what officials?
It's too early.
No. You know what last night was. Right?
I can see the look.
You know what last night was, right?
Come on.
The coal is burning the furnace. The tracks are out. JIMVP. Woo! It's time, Leroy. Put your conductor hat on. Get on the train tracks because the JIMVP train is ready to leave the station. We are off and running, my friend. Glad you brought this up this morning. Glad you did.
What?
Yup. My man.
Look, don't try to find your creative ways of getting me involved.
Oh, you're involved. You're involved. You're in the cart. You're at the liquor cart with the Tito's. You're there just enjoying your time on the train. It's a grand old time.
Hey, listen, I'm going to go along for the ride. Make sure I have my Tito's. I'm gonna go along for the ride.
We should do a bit where we take the train down to the game, and we're all dressed as conductors, and
hold on,
we have like Jimmy Butler cutouts.
Before we schedule any other bits, we got to get our elf thing going.
Oh man, I was hoping you'd forget about that.
Yep, and we'll all go. I'm not going to even eat empanadas that day because we're going to eat a big lunch.
Wow.
We're going to have us a nice lunch with Elf on the Shelf.
That's Dan Day, by the way, Mark. I don't think Marcos knows because he's been gone for 3 weeks.
Oh.
So, Marcos, do you want to explain it to him?
So, I said that I would take the Dolphins, and Tobin said there is no way, right? So we had a wager. And as wagers go, how our wagers go.
The Dolphins over who, though?
Huh?
You were taking the Dolphins over who?
The Dolphins over, who did they play? They played.
Was it Baltimore? The Baltimore game?
No.
Baltimore.
It was Baltimore. Was it Baltimore?
It was Baltimore. It was Thursday night. Baltimore.
I think, you're right. Because I definitely thought they were going to lose.
No, I completely get it.
Said,
you took them to cover. You took them to cover.
Gotcha. I took them to cover. Correct. And so as the show goes on, we come up with this wager that, first of all, we're going to all dress up as elves and go to work, right? But 3 of us will then put back on our street clothes and then go eat lunch, and the loser will still be in his elf costume.
Wow.
And have to go eat lunch.
It's a big elf.
And I said, we ain't going. Look, we going to Prime. We going to Capitol Grill. We not going to mess around in no McDonald's. No, I want the full. Yes. So we going to either be at Aventura Mall or down on the beach.
The mall.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's rough.
Come on.
All right.
So
yeah.
So that's fun. so he's already he already owe us that.
Sweet.
Right?
Sweet.
This is more of a celebration, though, instead of a debt being paid.
Dan Day, he said, we discussed, because he's tiny, that he could be Elf on the Shelf.
He does kind of look like Elf on a Shelf.
Yes.
He is an elf.
He the bad Santa version.
Yeah, he loves Bad Santa, so that works out.
Right? He's the bad version of Elf on the Shelf. Right. And so now he's bringing up other stuff to do. Hold on. We ain't piling them up. We ain't lining them up. Let's get this Elf on the Shelf thing. J-Fig is supposed to coordinate it, but when we gonna all do it?
I feel like this has to be soon. I'm assuming.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Is this like a post-Thanksgiving thing?
Yeah, bro, it's Christmas.
Yeah, we can't violate. I just want to make sure we're not violating.
As Bruce Springsteen says, "Hey, man, it's Christmas time." Two more headlines before we hit the break. Getting a little to some more on that Heat win last night. 15 minutes of Heat. Panthers beat the New Jersey Devils 4-1. They are back. 2 straight wins for the Cats. Yes, Mark Hawkman, those are called wins. Wins in hockey, just so you know. Spencer Knight, 45 saves last night for the young buck. Busy night between the pipes. And Jonathan.
I'll tell you what, the last 3 or 4 years, the Panthers have been very fortunate to not only have a goalie, but a backup goalie.
Yep. And a good bounce back for him too, because he was in that game where he got lit up. Not all on him, but it's a good settling performance, I think, for him. Well, I guess not settling. 45 saves is a lot, but it's a busy night. Good confidence builder for the young kid. And then last night, the New England Patriots, who are marching their way to another division title, they shut out the Falcons 25-0.
Man,
Falcons bums.
I mean,
how do you get shut out in your own building?
Bum. How do you get shut out? I mean, did you see Matt Ryan?
Oof.
and guess what?
That too drops my new
There were times in that game where Atlanta looked not bad, but they couldn't string a bunch of plays together at all.
Annoying. They're gonna win.
It was amazing. They had a drive where they missed a field goal in the first half, and they ran the ball like they had a 13-yard run, a 14-yard run, and they come back from the second half and they say, Atlanta's averaging less than 3 yards a carry. And I'm like, wow, before the half, I thought like running game was going to keep them in it. So
I will take a quick break. Fun night at the building last night. D Wade was back in the house last night.
With his Christmas ugly sweater.
He can pull it off. I can't pull off that sweater, but he can pull it off.
I bet you that sweater costs $2,500.
Definitely.
Easily.
And you know Tyler Hero saw that yesterday and was jealous. He's like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, that looks good.
And wait, you know what? Let me tell you this fraud. Solana. Did you say he tried to do me and D Wade samesies?
He did?
Yeah, he wore like an 80s cardigan. His mom's cardigan, I think.
Oh, my God.
Not the same.
At Art Basel. That's why exactly. I'm a little question if we should be going speaking. You
think Solana loves him some Art Basel?
Like Wilson. Well, dude.
I think he corrects you and he says Basel every time you say that.
Basel. 7. The Wizards did not have Spencer Dinwiddie last night as they were being cautious with his knee because they were on the second night of a back-to-back. But the Heat did not have Tyler Hero, who obviously has been just unbelievable this season. And the Heat really haven't been full strength since the start of the West Coast trip. Basically, since Nikola Jokic delivered his cheap shot, they have not been at full strength. And Jimmy Buckets has been out with the ankle injury, and Bam's been out with the knee injury, and Kyle Lowry has a maintenance day. And then yesterday, Tyler Hero's resting up a banged-up wrist. But the thing that's been unbelievable is everybody's been able to step up. There's been another person there to contribute. Yesterday, you really looked at Gabe Vincent, who maybe had his best game in a Heat uniform. He was awesome. You know he had hops like that?
I saw it in the Olympics.
Oh, Gabe Namdi with the hops. Yeah. That's who you saw. I mean, he got some bounce. I was like, woo! I love seeing that. He's a tenacious defender, man. I mean, he really is. He is a pain in the ass to go up against, and filled it up yesterday. He filled it up yesterday. 18 points from Gabe Vincent. Another great game from PJ Tucker. 15 points, 5 rebounds. He's tremendous. Bam, giving you 20 and 9 yesterday. Really just a great performance all around from your Miami Heat. But Jimmy Butler is the one who is leading the way the last 2 games. And here's a little Jimmy Buckets after the game and the feel for what was last night. He says, slow start, felt like both teams were on the second night of a back-to-back.
It felt like a back-to-back for both teams. And tell you the truth, I think both teams started out really slow, got in a rhythm, pace picked up a little bit, and then everybody got comfortable. It's good to get the first one, but we got these guys again in 2 days.
So they'll be taking them on in D.C. on Saturday night, tomorrow night, Leroy.
He didn't have. Oh no, he did play both games. Who didn't play both games?
Kyle and Bam. Remember after the game, he goes,
Kyle and Bam.
Bam, Kyle, please come to work tomorrow. He put on social media. He put a photo of them on the bench, during the day yesterday, and he goes, "Somebody get these guys some pom poms."
Yucking it up, smiling.
He was nobody's having more fun than this guy right now in the league. He's a walking meme. Everything is silly sauce. He was silly sauce yesterday. Jimmy Butler is silly sauce. He goes up in Tyler Hero's face. He's laughing at Kyle Lowry. He had a finish at the rim. He flexes.
I gotta tell you,
what
that dude complains.
Oh,
if an official
does he complain?
Wait, if an official blows a whistle, no matter what it's for, Kyle Lowry's in his ear.
That's gamesmanship. That's not complaining.
Really?
Yeah, that's my guy, Low Dog.
Really?
What you call that is an attorney on the court, you know?
Because I saw a play where he basically karate kid the guy, and he's going, didn't even touch him. Didn't even touch him.
He's Kyle Lowry because he is just keeping to the letter of the law in the league. Low Dog, my guy. He complains a lot. Every time. I
always look like he having a discussion with an official.
He's like doing it and he can do it mid-game too. Like a lot of times he'll just stop and he'll have a fight, but he'll do it mid-game. He goes like, he's just looking at it and he's very, it's like, it's got to be a tie between him and Chris Paul. I think those are the two. Just between the yapping that they do all game.
How many times does he just look at the official and just disgust?
It's nonstop. It's nonstop.
He just give him the look and the funny thing about it is that Jimmy's on the side laughing at him.
Just
because it gets to the point where Kyle, come on, man, again.
And then he hits the little little flex, and Jimmy Butler's just dying laughing over that too. He's just like, come on, man.
According to you, he can't flex.
Oh no, he's got a gun show, man. My guy. Low Dog.
Really? I mean, according to your explanation of Kyle Lowry, he looks like an offensive lineman.
He's like a swole running back.
No,
Lowry.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you a story. When I was in college, we hung out with a guy. He was a heavyweight wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He was swole,
thick. Yep.
Jacked up, everything. Right? He's like, I want to walk on the football team. We were like, cool, come on out. Right? The first day he was in pads, the biggest position they could put him in is linebacker. And we thought he was going to be like some kind of D-line or something like that. And so you see these guys, no, man. No, Kyle Lowry would not be a running back.
I've seen you next to Kyle Lowry.
Huh?
I've seen you next to Kyle Lowry. Samesies.
Dude, okay, I probably weigh 20 pounds more than Kyle Lowry. Right?
Maybe.
What are you trying to say?
Maybe.
Right? And from that standpoint, and Kyle Lowry is not a guy that he plays a methodical game.
No, he doesn't. He's Kyle Chaos.
Okay, but just because he takes it up the floor fast don't mean he's fast. What that? Oh my God.
We get it, Leroy. Nobody's football players as far as athletes are concerned. You shame tall people. You shame the short people. You're against the basketball players. I get it.
No, I'm not.
You are.
What are you talking about?
You body shame them all. You're a body shamer.
I will always love basketball because my first opportunity to go to a basketball game was when I was in college was Michael Jordan.
You will always love. I didn't say you didn't love basketball, but you scoff at their athleticism and physique.
And you know what? Let's straighten this out right now.
You're a scoffer.
Damn it. Let's straighten it out. It's you. Because you're the one that's quick to call somebody swole or fat in basketball. And I'm like, no, dude.
I don't think I do that.
You really? You never called Kyle Lowry fat.
Did I call Kyle Lowry fat? I don't know.
And he's fat compared
Lowry?
to Brandon Ingram.
Never want him. Fat.
You sure didn't splice that?
So I'm fighting. No, he didn't splice it. You know damn well he didn't. So I'm fighting that. Hey, basketball players, when you stand next to them, they're skinny, man. They are skinny. Look at that. I'm swole.
Oh man,
I don't even know what that was from.
that was from Tyler Hero. We were talking about Tyler Hero.
Hey, I can't remember what it's from, but just random comment. It sounds ridiculous.
Here's Jimmy Butler yesterday getting the MVP chance in the building. Here's a little Jimmy Buckets after the game.
I don't need none of that. We need a championship here. That's all we worried about. All of those individual things, they can keep it. I can hear it. Obviously, I'm not crazy, but it definitely doesn't do anything for me.
Man, it was very the MVP chance have been strong this year. And then listen, D Wade said an interesting thing yesterday. Dwayne Wade was on the broadcast. He was all over the place. Did an interview with Jax. It was awesome. Did the third quarter with John Crotty and Eric Reed. It was awesome. But D Wade said an interesting thing about, I remember how hard it used to be to fill this place. And I remember those games too. I remember going to, and I'm talking like post-Shaq, D Wade in his prime. I remember those 09 seasons where, a game against the Wizards on a Wednesday or a Thursday wouldn't necessarily be filled to the rafters. And man, he was having an MVP season, and we had some weak-ass MVP chants. And that's the stuff that he has really grown as in this town as a basketball culture. Why he's so important, because I'm telling you, man, those MVP chants were kick ass last night for Jimmy Butler. Loud, noticeable. The night before they were the same thing. They've been doing an awesome job with that this year. I know he likes to say I don't do individual awards. That's part of the Jimmy Butler gimmick. Trust me, he's gonna love it. We got the campaign going. JIMVP. JIMVP.
Here's what you basically said. Jimmy, you don't know what the hell you talking about. Of course you like it.
It's a stupid thing to say.
Everybody likes MVP chants.
I don't need any of that. Sure you don't.
But you don't think somebody can really feel that way?
Yeah, maybe.
Look, everybody likes the love. Here's what he should say. He said, look, I appreciate the love, but that's not my goal.
Leroy, you consider LeBron James a winner, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Every year he campaigns for the MVP. He likes that too. Doesn't mean he doesn't want a ring.
But I think there's a difference though.
Is there?
Right? Because guess what? Jimmy Butler is not going to be judged on whether he wins the MVP. LeBron is. Because you're always comparing him to the greatest that played the game. So I can see, look, different circumstances. You see what I mean? But Jimmy hasn't won a championship yet.
Oh, if you had to tell me, if he had to choose, he's obviously taking championship.
Right, but you can't, in a team sport, if somebody put themselves out there like that, right? And again, LeBron's in a different situation because how you judge LeBron is different than Jimmy. Jimmy say he don't have a championship yet. Can he lead a team to the championship?
Well, I speak for him.
You see what I mean? So that's what his goal is.
I speak for him when I say he loves it. And keep doing it. Louder.
First of all, can I just ask a favor, friend to friend?
Mm-hmm.
Please don't speak on my behalf.
Oh, I speak on your behalf all the time.
I've seen when you spoke for others' behalf, and I got to tell you, I don't want to be on that list.